For me, I had my ayahuasca experiences first, and so I was in a ceremony with a shaman, and there was so much respect and
Yeah,
around it. Then that's how I treat my psilocybin experiences, with the same type of, there's an occasion, it's planned, that it's dark,
right.
I'm alone, it's big, it's going to be something that's I am scared, and so that's how I've been conditioned to approach it, and I quite like it that way.
Yeah, and that's the other thing that Terence talked about, and everybody's talked about, and I talk about a lot. That the importance of set and setting. People say, how can we use these things safely and still get a lot out of it? Well, pay attention to set and setting. Those are the two big variables. Plan for it, have an intention, and and arrange your setting so that, number one, you're safe, and that's assured. So maybe not on the freeway, maybe not even at a rock concert or whatever. Do it in a place where no one is going to bother you. No one, at least, that you don't want to bother you. Not the neighbors, not the local constabulary, maybe your most significant other or something like that could be close by or share it. But setting is important, and intention, and that's part of the whole respect thing. Why am I doing this? What do I expect to get out of it? What are we doing this for? And then the set is really everything you bring to it, who you are, what your expectation is. It's everything. It's you. It's your mindset. Everybody's mindset is different. Terence told me once when we were young, before I'd ever taken LSD, he said, don't take LSD until you've read Psychology and Alchemy by Jung, right? And we were reading Jung at that time. He said, don't take LSD. You'll get much more out of it if you do that. Well, I hadn't read Psychology and Alchemy when I took them the first time. But later I did, and I realized what he meant. I mean, a lot of the things that came up, Psychology and Alchemy is a kind of a good map for a lot of the sort of gestalts and ideas that come up during a psychedelic experience. So setting is one thing, and set is the other variable, which is much trickier, but they're both important.
Right.
You know.
I find with ayahuasca, I get a distinct, finite set of lessons, like 1, 2, 3. This is what we need to go do. Sometimes it's very related to plant symbiosis. Sometimes it's related to some relationship things I need to do. Very much, usually those. I used to tell
Right.
people, you're usually not being confronted with your IPO on an ayahuasca experience. It's very deep. But with psilocybin, sometimes I don't know any specific lessons afterwards. The day or two afterwards, I don't have in my mind that I need to go do this, this, and this. Is that something you hear a lot? Is that something that's typical to have the kind of different experiences?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay.
I mean, ayahuasca is often much more of a counselor in some ways, or it does give you ideas about what you should be doing, or, like you say, your relationships or insights into this whole, mission that we're engaged in, which is to save the planet ultimately, but that the plant-human symbiosis thing, it's much more about that. Mushrooms are not that way so much. Mushrooms, yeah, they don't really lay out an agenda. They sort of just lay down a rap, more or less. And it's like, they just download information like they did at La Chirera, and they say, well, this is what it is. This is what's going on here. And you say, well, but that's crazy. And they say, sorry. That's what it is. Deal with it.
Right. Would Terence call it having a conversation with the leprechaun, or having a conversation and
Yeah.
and you want to engage in the conversation and they're not answering your questions?
Well, they're dodgy. They're
Right.
they're very tricky. They're elfin. They're mischievous. I mean, this is the whole thing. And this comes up again with discussions of also DMT, and mushrooms are really a form of DMT. They're really the orally active form of DMT. If you understand the chemistry, right?
Okay.
Psilocin is one molecule away from DMT. It's 4-hydroxy dimethyltryptamine. So that hydroxy group is just different enough that it's orally active without an MAO inhibitor, right? So
Right.
it really is DMT. And at the higher doses you get into those areas, you see, yes, this is tryptamine land. This is the tryptamine space. And mushrooms, ayahuasca, and DMT all get you into that place, right? And I forgot what my thread was.
Yeah, I was trying to remember too. So, what were we talking about? The psilocybin and the DMTs. What was I got so entranced, I didn't know what we were talking about.
Yeah, but so they're all DMT of that space, but they're all like a little different. I mean, it's sort of you're looking into the same through the same thing at the same thing, but through slightly different portals, if you will.
Okay. Yeah,
different,
this was the lessons versus the information and the download.
Right.
Okay,
It more downloads stuff, and and you can take away from any of that what you will. I mean, it can be in the form of a lesson, but usually with ayahuasca, it's, I don't know exactly. It's like you come away with a sense often that you really have to do something. You have to change something. You have to change your diet, or talk to your loved one and get some things straightened out, or stuff like that. And the mushroom is not necessarily, there's not a plan for action. This is the lesson for the day, or this is what you come away with, but there's not necessarily anything to do about it other than
To watch the rest of this fascinating interview, click on the link below and go to londonrealacademy.com. There you can sign in with your social media login and watch the rest of the episode for free, along with all of our episodes on London Real, my webinars, and all of our premium content, all located over at londonrealacademy.com. So click on the link below, you'll be directed there, and you can watch the rest of this fascinating interview, and I'll see you there.